Dammit, we are live on Twitch. Not YouTube this time, but later. We will be back on Twitch and YouTube at the same damn time. But today it is Tuesday, my dudes. Tuesday is Collection R Day, and we are back with another Collection R random story. Wild as a motherfucker. And
All
today
right.
we have our guest host in for today is Westcoast Weed Reviews. My guy, great to see you again. I know
What's up,
you.
man? Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't want to I didn't want to step on your intro, so I was like,
Nah,
oh,
it's all good, man. Fuck it,
let's
man. We ain't
let's
there
see how
yet.
this goes. But
Yeah,
yeah, good shit. I don't know anything about what we're talking about, so you definitely are going to be to use the term host is pretty generous. I'm
yeah.
just going along for the ride, and
That's
I'll ask questions as if I'm the audience because that's what I am right
yeah, that's good,
now.
man. I mean, most of the time when we do these stories, Collection R is on Tuesdays with me and Bearded Pharaoh, and we
Yeah.
do a lot of like crazy ass stories, wild stories. Today
I
we
saw the Lisa Lamb one. I remember that, dude. That's one I know about, but we won't talk about that. Go
yeah.
back if you're watching this now. Just keep watching this till the end, and then go back to the Lisa Lamb one for sure, because that's a weird ass story.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it the fuck is, man.
Hotel Cecil.
A Hotel Cecil, man. Hotel Cecil, if you guys don't know, again, you guys got to check in on that interview. Hold on one second. My fucking Zoom. There we go. Yeah, it was a wild ass story. And so, again, every Tuesday we come up with these wild ass stories for you guys to smoke one, chief one, and chill with us. I'm not smoking. Well, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm smoking today.
Yeah.
Today I'm smoking. I wasn't gonna pop this one just now, but I'm gonna pop open this white slushy by
Oh, okay.
Botanico.
Can and Co. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, and yeah, I was supposed to do a bust down on this one, but you know me, man. I'd rather do a smoke review than to do
Yeah.
anything busting down, especially with these guys.
Yeah.
Whew, you could trust it, I think.
Yeah, it's not an average pre-roll. I think like and it's not yeah, so it's sad when you have to take those kind of works. I always feel bad when I take apart the higher end pre-rolls, because
Right.
it's like there's some work in there.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, West Coast Weed Reviews bust down all of the latest and greatest cannabis content that you guys can see, man, out there at shops and stores and everything, delivery services. West Coast Weed Reviews is here to be that guy to check out those terps, man. Before you get it, you know what I'm saying? Definitely
I-
check out his page, you
I'm
know?
climbing the top shelf, I'm climbing the low shelf, dude. I'm
Yeah,
all in between. That's where I want to be. It's like
right.
I'm trying to rep the consumer, and the average man. It's like I wish I could be a baller. I wish I could
Yeah,
only smoke the very best of the best. But it's like there's a market for everybody and there's a
right.
best bang for your buck scenario out there.
There we
And that's what
go.
I'm looking for. And knowledge is power, dude.
That's
You're
what's
spending
up.
your 20-30 bucks. It's like you want to make sure you're getting the best you can for that 20-30 bucks. You don't want to walk
Yeah.
away with some garbage and then see something like on my page that you're like, oh, I only got this for 30, dude. You should have
Right.
saved up,
Yeah,
like
you should have saved up. Yeah,
this is
you
looking good.
making some smart decisions and good buys are always a good thing, especially when you're making an educated, not an educated guess, but an informed purchase. I think I sent you a message earlier when we were talking about you were going to do some of those pre rolls, and I think I saw that napalm is going to be
Yeah, that's right.
filled. Yeah, that's going to
With
have
Lucky.
yeah some lucky in there, man.
Yeah.
So I hope you get a hold of that right there, man.
I already have a plan to get. It's not going to be a Backpack Boys one. It's going
Okay,
to be one of the other ones out there. I have a plan. I'm actually gonna, after we're done here, I'm gonna roll down and grab that.
that's what's up.
And yeah, but those things are pricey, dude. It's just like I don't even know. I wonder if that one's more pricey because it's a collab
Yeah,
or a collab, as some people say it
yeah,
properly, or if it's or if it's just going to be the same price. I'm curious on where that will fall. It all
yeah.
depends on the shop, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, you go into somewhere. I mean, of course, you're gonna have to pay taxes on it. What is it, like 10 grams in there or something like that? It's like
It's seven, I think, of flour, and then a G of rosin or something like that, or something along those, or live resin. I'm not exactly
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a G of concentrate of some sort, so and it's big and I actually
huge.
saw somebody smoking one the other day, so I asked them about it and they said it smoked great. So I was like, "Oh, good," because I heard they didn't smoke that great. So maybe it depends on the individual roll, the
True.
flower inside. But yeah, I'm gonna get one because that's all I can afford right now. And once I get that Patreon going, maybe we can cut open a few of them, different
Damn
special
it.
editions or whatever. But yeah, at
Get
least
over
this one
there.
we'll get one. Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up. Get over to West Coast Weed Reviews, man. Make sure you guys are following him on Instagram. You
Please.
definitely will catch him on our YouTube page. But for sure, sign up for this man's Patreon page, man. Get over there, damn it. He's going to have the motherfucking content, man. The
Yeah, I've
cannabis
been lagging
content.
on that. I've been lagging on it for sure, but I definitely will up, the levels of donations and shit.
Yeah, that's what's
I
up.
want to make sure there's cool. I mean, number one, it's just like if you support, that's great. Even if you
Hmm.
give throwing a buck, but like if you're giving a couple more bucks, I want to be able to give them something.
Right.
So at least some slaps or something like that.
Yeah, something
I'm gonna
exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a few things that I mean, just a few different kinds of stickers so far.
Hmm.
So I mean, probably it'll be something like that. But yeah, I'll work it out. The main thing is that I just want to be of the people and not beholden to the brands.
That's what's up, man. Because it
Yeah,
sucks, man. We see them as mouthpieces, after a while, man, they only smoke this brand and it
yeah,
just seems like they're only getting the freshest of the fresh. And then when I go into the shop, I'm getting the low end,
right.
like I can't do that, man.
Yeah,
So
I mean, ideally, like if I could run my page and just be powered by the people, and
mhm,
I would go in, I would never ever like really talk to brands or anything,
right.
not that I have any disrespect for them, but
No.
just to emulate fully what it's like to be the end consumer, and
Right.
I'm going into any given shop
Yeah.
using that money from the Patreon and buying the products directly off the shelves.
Hmm.
I'm not like, looking to like go, oh, give me the best dates or anything. I'm just going in for that experience as a whole, because it's
Right.
like my experience is your experience and that's what I want the page to reflect.
Yeah, it should. It
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
It should.
But anyway,
Now,
we could talk about that shit
yeah, we'll
forever.
talk
What
about
the
this.
deal with
Yeah, we'll talk about this later, man. But I'm glad I got you in here, man.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a wholly new story to you, I'm sure. Not
Yeah.
a lot of people really researched this. It may have been like a rumor type of thing, but nobody really paid attention to this story.
Okay.
Um, let me first start by asking you, how familiar are you with the movie Boys in the Hood?
I know it was a movie that came out in the 80s, but honestly, like I'm familiar with the parodies of it, like more
Hmm.
so, like Don't Be a Menace, for example. Like,
True, true, true,
but
true.
yeah, no, I can't. It was in a time where I probably wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies,
Yes.
and I think I was just getting into there, so I feel like if oh man, I can't remember what the movie was about, the kids going to college and
Hmm.
there's like
Oh,
the
higher learning.
Higher Learning, yeah. I was like, I barely was able to watch Higher Learning, so that was
Yeah.
like my entry to adult films, like
Hmm.
adult themes and whatnot.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think Boys in the Hood might have just came a little too early for me,
Right.
where I wasn't allowed to, and then I never went back and watched it.
Yeah.
I think there's a few cool movies in that time that I never went back and watched, so I got to put them on
Well,
my
this is yeah, this is one of those movies that I believe, not set the trend, but it kept going
list.
to go on to be a classic, not only because of the movie itself, but because of all of the stars
Uh
that were
huh.
in there. Everybody, I believe it was like a, not at that point in time, but now if you look back, those are huge stars,
Right.
especially in black cinema. And even directed by John Singleton, it was a hit, but
Hmm.
no one knew it at the time. And
Right.
so, yeah, man, let's get into this, man. This is the story of Lloyd Avery the second.
Okay.
And you know what? Here, man, I got a quick little screen shoot I wanted to show off. And this is right now we're in the seedy motel of collection art right now, and I'm gonna get back
Okay.
to that right now. But I want you guys to remember this scene right here. This is the scene that everybody pretty much remembers, and this is the scene of that red. What was that? A Corolla? I want to
Okay.
say,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
yeah, yeah, it was a red Corolla. Everybody remembers that Corolla in this one scene with Ricky running down the alley and being
Okay.
shot. Okay.
He's getting shot in the back. I assume he's
Yeah,
running away from the car there.
right, and he's getting
Okay.
shot in the back. And now that was a very, like, I would say, the most iconic scene from this era of movies. Okay, and
Yeah.
it was something that, like, as a teenager, I'm sorry, not a teenager, but a young man. I was preteens before I even saw it when I saw this movie. So, and this was in like 91, 92
Hmm.
that I had saw this movie. So it wasn't like it was meant for me to see, but it was something that I think I was ready to see because of the environment that I lived in at the time. I was living down the street and around the corner from where all of this stuff happened at. So
Mm.
yeah, it was a rough thing. But anyway, let's get into this. The facts are as follows: the 1990s of the era of hood movies in South Central. I'm sorry, were South Central, New Jersey Drive, American Me, and Blood In, Blood Out. Also above the rim. Have you seen any of those movies?
I was just like, dude, no, I don't know.
No. South
I was like,
Central. South
above the
Central.
rim, maybe. Like, I feel
Okay.
like that might have been one.
Yeah. American Me. Have you heard of that one?
That about? It's about mafia, like, right?
Mexican gangs. Mexican
Okay.
gangs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It had what's his name in it? Is it Lou Diamond Phillips or no?
Yes, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he
Yeah.
was. He
Okay.
played
Yeah.
one of the brothers in
Sure.
there. Yes.
My mom
Yeah.
probably did watch it and I was there, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Trust.
don't. Yeah. Yeah.
This is, like I said. This is an era of movies. Like I said, it's in the '90s, and it's an era of hood movies.
Okay.
The first ones that were starting to bring Hollywood and bring the rest of the world to look at South Central LA, or
Okay.
LA as a whole. So you had movies like South Central, New Jersey Drive. You had American Me. You had Blood In, Blood Out. I'm sorry, American Me was a different movie, and then Blood In, Blood Out was the one with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I was like, I remember
American.
one with that. Was that? Did it happen like in the 50s? Is that when it was something like
Well,
that?
yeah, I think they were both around the same era of time, like the
Yeah.
the end of the '70s, early '80s.
Okay.
So I think American Me was with what's the guy that played the teacher? Edward James Olmos, I
Yeah, he's
believe.
got Ever James, and the other movie I'm looking it up now because I'm just like, I don't know which. I want to
Blood
know
in,
which one I'm thinking of
Blood
now.
In, Blood Out was the one with Lou Diamond Phillips, where he played a cop, and his brother, or his best friend from the gang culture growing up, was a white boy that had blonde
Okay.
hair, blue eyes, and but he wanted to be in the Mexican gang, and
Uh huh.
so that's was the tale of two guys, basically. You
I think
know,
I'm thinking of Stand and Deliver, maybe, dude.
Stand and Deliver was the teacher one. That was Edward
Yeah,
James
yeah.
almost as a teacher.
And what's his name was in it
Lou
too? Lou
Diamond
Diamond
Phillips, yeah.
Phillips. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to remember. I was like, I envision him as like this, like gang,
Yeah.
like a gangbanger type, And I was like,
He
where have I seen that?
he's played a few. That was it. He's played a few, and this was two of his roles right there.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. So you had that. You had Menace to Society. I don't know
Okay.
if you've seen that one. That
Oh,
was a
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another, huge hood hit.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, these were the classics that were in the genre.
Right.
And only one of them would reign supreme, that would rise to the top to be that classic, that cult classic, saying like, yo, this is the depiction of the hood. And
In the 90s.
yeah, in the '90s. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah, Boys in the Hood. So,
I
Boys
see.
in the Hood is a coming of age story about a group of friends trying to navigate the streets of South Central Los Angeles, whether positively or negatively, in 1991.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when this film, basically aired, hit the streets and everything like that. I probably didn't see it until like late '92 ish, maybe '93.
Okay. All right.
But at the time, people had known about it. People were before me were making memes and stuff before the internet, no Facebook or nothing like that. People were just like fake acting out scenes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and you just had to know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Yeah, this is 1991's South Central Los Angeles, and this movie put South Central Los Angeles under a microscope and gave the world an idea what life was like. The film was directed by John Singleton, and this was his directorial debut. And it stars Ice Cube as Doughboy, Cuba Gooding Jr. as Trey, Morris Chestnut as Ricky, Lawrence Fishburne as Furious, Angela Bassett as Reva, Nia Long as Brandy, Regina King as Shalika, and a newcomer named Lloyd Avery II. He was simply casted as Knucklehead number two in the film.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He
So
didn't go too far. He didn't go too far.
no, he didn't go too
He
far.
was in Don't Be a Menace though, so I probably that's probably where I recognize him from.
Also, did you also see Poetic Justice?
That is the Tupac one, right? And
Yes.
Janet Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah, I've probably seen it like a little. Dude, I have pretty much the worst memory, so
No, no, no. Don't worry.
I'm like,
Like you were probably like 5 years old when a lot of these movies came out, man.
no,
I mean,
I was definitely older, but I just like remember like even movies I probably watched a bunch. That's what I was thinking
right,
about. I was like, I do remember like I had to have seen these movies,
right.
but it's just like all the plots have just totally faded away. And it was like shit that I've watched, like I'm thinking of like dumbass movies that I was
Yeah,
watching even in the 90s, like as a kid that I probably loved, like some shit called like Dino Hysteria or I don't remember. It had
yeah,
little dinosaurs in it,
yeah,
like, and I don't even remember the plot. I just remember the fact there was little dinosaurs in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
No, I
I'm just
just
like, man, my memory is just wrecked.
well,
Yeah.
like I said, man, these are movies that like I think that anyone outside of like where this bubble of hood movies was showing,
Yeah, yeah.
either you were like intrigued because you didn't know about it, or you saw it as like this is just every day in the hood,
It was a
you know.
reflection of life, basically,
Right.
right?
It
Like, yeah,
was literally that reflection of life. And most people, like I said, most people were like, accustomed to living this life. And so
yeah,
they either avoided this movie like the Black Plague, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, I don't want my kids to see this. I don't want nobody, knowing this is how we live.
yeah. Oh, I see.
It wasn't a comedy, it wasn't like, what's the movie with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson?
Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah,
White Man Can't
it
Jump.
wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a buddy comedy or
Yeah.
nothing like that. This was hood at
Uh
its
huh.
at its worst. I
Yeah.
would say, but at its finest because of the great movie.
It wasn't a
So
soft depiction by any means. It was like
no,
gritty and real. Yeah,
gritty
yeah.
and real.
No, I see. Yeah.
Man, it didn't save nobody's feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It punched at everybody, man, from police brutality all the way to gang banging to jails to schools and life in general.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was that movie. So in that movie, we have Lloyd Avery the second or Junior. I was
Hmm.
calling him the second. And he was Lloyd Avery second. Let's get into him. Lloyd Avery second was born June 21st of 1969. Um,
Okay.
he was born in the View Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. It's not a very hood, area. If you know, it's like just off of Beverly Hills, so it's not as hood as what we would think. Like right in South Central, this is more near like the West
Kind of
Hills
West
area.
Side,
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Side Los Angeles,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is West LA. So like he wasn't, right there in the middle.
Mm.
So Lloyd Avery the second was born to a self-employed handyman, Lloyd Avery the first, and mother who was a stay-at-home mom, Linda Avery. He was the eldest son and grew up with a swimming pool in his backyard. And as a kid, wasn't allowed to play in the streets after dark. In high school, he was the type of guy who would hold a beer at parties just to fake like he was drinking to avoid peer pressure. Yeah,
Wow, smart dude, smart
yeah,
dude, ahead of
smart
the
dude.
curve. Look out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His favorite song was Elton John's Benny and the Jets. Yeah, how hood are you? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Lloyd attended Beverly Hills High School where he excelled in water polo and basketball. While attending Beverly Hills High, Lloyd became good friends with son of Quincy Jones, Quincy Jones the third, or QD3 as they would call him. Uh,
Mm.
Now, Lloyd graduated in 1987 and enrolled in LA Trade Tech, which is like a trade tech school in Los Angeles. Have you ever heard of it? It's a
Uh,
it's near the industrial area, like just off of Main Street, I want to say, near downtown area, like a lot of the sweatshops and stuff like that.
yeah, I think I've cruised by there on the train before, like when I was
Yeah,
taking the train back and forth.
I think you can see it from the 10 freeway. Yeah, matter of
Okay.
fact, right before you hit the 110 freeway, you can see it right off to the side, LA Trade Tech. And
Okay.
I would call that the 13th grade. I don't know if you understand
Yeah.
what that means, but that's kind of like you didn't really finish high school, you didn't really want to do anything with your education, and you just went on. You were pushed on to the next level, and LA
Mm,
Trade Tech was wide open doors to let all of those people in.
mm.
It was more because, like I said, they were getting, tuition assistance, all kind of stuff. So it was like, you work with us, we work with you, get you in here, and we'll get you going. So, but he dropped out a few months afterwards. He wasn't really into the whole, going into school and making an education or getting a trade, which LA Trade Tech, that's all they do there. And he was oftentimes working at small jobs like McDonald's. He was more interested in the entertainment industry, but that didn't go over well with his father, which was Lloyd Senior, and his dad. He would always tell him, I like that shit, but keep it as a hobby. Okay, that shit is cool, but you have to learn a trade. So
Yeah.
his dad would always tell him like, "Yo, man, I'm a handyman. You out here living this Hollywood dream in your mind, and you ain't made it yet. You
Yeah,
flunked out of
probably
school.
secretly jealous a little
A
bit.
little bit, a little bit.
Like he's like, oh, I wish I could go back in time and be like my son, but he's got to accept the real world, but he
Yeah,
couldn't make it,
yeah,
So yeah, he's scared for him though.
yeah, a little bit." He's like, "Yo, I sent you to Beverly Hills High School. You're a better
Yeah, yeah,
all star, water polo. You look
yeah,
handsome. You
yeah,
could be a model. You could do whatever, man. But like, I need something more practical."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he did find some early success as a music producer on Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell was a star from shows like Martin.
Hmm.
That was Gina, Martin and Gina. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
ever
yeah, I
remember that
remember
show,
that
Martin.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So she had a song called Push, and he was the lead producer for this song and music video.
yeah. Okay.
I don't really remember the music. I don't really remember the video. I did see some excerpts from it when I was looking around, and it was just a damn. You did that? Okay, all right, cool. I think this was at the time like a lot of '80s and early '90s stars were trying to do music. Like Eddie Murphy had an album out. That type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People were like, "Yo, let me just
yeah.
cross over."
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
it's kind of like Bo Jackson, like how he was in sports, but people were doing it with like, well, if I'm an actor or comedian, I
yeah,
guess I could just like be a rapper or like
yeah.
make a rock album or something.
like don't want to speak ill of the dead, but remember Kobe Bryant had a fucking rap career,
Uh,
if you want to call that.
a
um
short-lived rap career.
Very short lived.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, man. Now Lloyd finally landed the role in Boys in the Hood. He played a blood gang member known for toting a double barrel shotgun, and he would be part of one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. As I said earlier, you could see it on the screen. He was the guy in the back. Now, him being casted as Knucklehead number three meant that he didn't have any lines. Okay. I definitely really don't even remember him. I remember vividly like most of the scenes from the show itself, but
Mm.
I'm sorry, from the movie itself, but I don't really remember him being killed in the movie. I do remember the other guys being killed in the movie, but I don't remember him being killed in the movie.
All
I
right.
remember him shooting Ricky and stuff like that, but I just don't remember this. Um, but so yeah, he played that blood member. Shortly after Boys in the Hood landed the role in a TV episode of Doogie Howser, MD, where he played a character named Dredd. This was just a on the spot, character for one episode, in and out, one and done. It wasn't like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
reoccurring role. But he at the same time became friends with John Singleton. And of course, John Singleton being the man that he was very involved in people's family lives and just a family friend to the Avery family. And he even attended fish fries at the Avery home. Now, Singleton went on to cast Lloyd and his younger brother, Che, in the 1993 film Poetic Justice, starring Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson. And but John Singleton and his friendship would turn like real sour right after this movie. Okay,
Okay.
so now in this movie, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a scene at which you see Lloyd Avery standing next to a video arcade game. In the very beginning, I'd say about 5 minutes into the movie of Poetic Justice, you would see Lloyd Avery's character and his brother's character in this movie for not more than 10 minutes, if that. They were like basically two, three scenes.
Okay.
Um, and it meant to, push the story in a certain direction. Not to get too much into the story of the movie, but Janet Jackson was dating actor in the movie Q-Tip. I don't know if you guys know Q-Tip. Q-Tip is the rapper from Tribe Called Quest and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So he was playing a role in the movie as Janet Jackson's boyfriend. And Janet Jackson's boyfriend and her were at a movie theater or a drive-in theater, and Lloyd Avery's character was just there and recognized him and then killed him within a scene. So that moved that story forward. So look, he's gangster number two again. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? As you can see, he's
Yeah.
starting to get typecast.
Yeah.
Yeah, right away. Like two roles in, three roles in. Even the
Yeah.
Doogie
Yeah.
Howser, he played another, gang member.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
ready to, start some shit, thugging up and all of that. And so uh, at the film release, at the screening of the movie, John Singleton and Lloyd Avery were sitting next to each other at the premiere. And when the movie ended, uh, Lloyd stood up and yelled, "That shit was whack,"
Oh shit. All right.
while sitting right next to the director.
Wow, dude. Yeah.
Hey man, that shit was whack.
Whack. Did he walk out after that, or did he just
I
sit
mean,
back
yeah,
down and
well,
look him in the
yeah.
face?
Hey, let me get some popcorn.
I'll
Like,
be right back.
yeah, man, give me some fucking popcorn. What's this? Yeah, no. So he right then and there did that, and so yeah, of course, it was hella sour after that. I'm popping the
Mhm.
top on this the fizz. This is
Uh,
a 10 milligram, soda
oh,
water,
interesting.
Tennessee
All right.
infused sparkling water. It's called the
Okay.
fizz. Let
The
me sip
fizz. All
on
right.
this. Yeah, man. So a little parched. So yeah, upset, of course. Um, by the end of 1993, Lloyd's increasingly bizarre behavior was worrying to his friends and family. He became angry and confrontational. Okay, there was a time he told Ice Cube, you know who Ice Cube is. He told him that he had a punk ass handshake. I don't know how he didn't get knocked out
Wow,
right then and
dude.
there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he told him that he had a punk
Punk
ass
ass
handshake.
handshake.
You told
Yeah.
Ice Cube that? Somebody as
That's,
rude as Ice Cube?
he was just like,
Shit.
I think you're. It's just like such a strange judgment on your handshake, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's very their handshake's very punk ass, you know.
Yeah. Very, 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 very soft. Bitch
Yeah.
ass. So
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like I feel like punk ass is such a specific criticism. Yeah, I guess. Like
yeah.
it
Yeah. You
depends on how I
shaking
meant
hands
it,
like
but
a
it's like
punk ass bitch.
yeah, okay, yeah, it's like he doesn't say, "Oh, you have a weak handshake," you know,
Mm-mm.
like is that his meaning? You know, it's like
Yeah. Like, yo, like, man, that ain't shit, homie.
yeah,
Yeah.
he sounds kind of like a confrontational fellow, like
And at that time, this is even
yeah,
his brother saying that
yeah,
that was also in the movie with him, his younger brother
hmm
Che. You'll hear this name a lot. His brother's name Che Avery, and he also remembers when he on occasion screamed at one of his the brothers' female friends while they were at a shopping mall. And
hmm
Singleton would go on to say he basically became the role played in Boys in the Hood.
hmm
After it came out, it became his life, and he acted that out in real life. So
Interesting.
yeah, there. I mean, there's a lot of actors that I think, and they've said it too. They were like, "Yo, I got this type of fame from this role,
Hmm.
and I started to act it out in real life." Um, One of the ones that I'll state real quick, The Wire. You remember that show, The Wire?
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen either. I just can't get into it, man. I've seen a couple of the episodes though, so yeah, I'm
Don't. The rabbit hole is very deep on that. I'm not gonna
yeah.
get you into that, but there was a character from it called Omar,
Okay.
and Omar, which was played by K. Michael Williams, I want to say his name is. He has a big
Mm.
scar down the middle of his face. You've seen him in other roles.
Mm.
Anyway, he would go on to say that I myself, took this fame from this movie and thought that I was really him. And I had to check myself a few times, and people had to check me too and
Hmm.
remind me like, yo, you're just a this is an actor, this is a role, there's real
Yeah.
motherfuckers out here, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And some people, they listen to that, some people they just like, nah, fuck that, I'm harder than now, y'all, and they go
Yeah.
out there and they go and try and prove it. Lloyd
They
was
feel
one of
it.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lloyd then began rapping under an alias, L.A. Deuce, and
Okay.
he had also been writing a script about the streets of L.A. But he wanted to get real life inspiration, so he moved into the Baldwin Village, also known as the Jungles,
Okay.
which is the stronghold of a blood gang named the Black P Stones. You
Mhm.
don't want to go there day or night. No,
Okay.
unless you're from there, you don't want to go there. You
Alrighty.
literally. Mm. You remember the scene from Training Day when Denzel Washington takes the guy to the gang neighborhood right there?
And he like drops him off after he did some drugs or something like
Well,
that, or
that was the Mexican gang area. That you're right.
oh,
But
okay.
the
Yeah.
first one with all the blood gang members outside lifting weights and just hanging out, the black guys.
I
Uh,
vaguely remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and his girlfriend was there. He had a girlfriend that was living there or something like that.
Okay.
I forgot what her name was. Ava Mendez. Ava Mendez.
All right.
And but anyway, that was, if you go back and you'll see that that's the Jungles. That's the
Okay.
Jungles. And just like how when he came up through there and was, talking like, yo, I run this hood and everything like that, you don't want to be there unless you're the cops. And even the cops
Yeah.
don't even want to go there. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, that's the Jungles. And yeah, so he actually shared an apartment with QD3, Quincy Jones III, where he would pay $100 a month, and Quincy would pay $500. Of course, Quincy's got money, his dad,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for a two-floor apartment over in the Jungles. Now that's living pretty good. What was that, 600 a month in the time in the '90s and stuff like that? That was pretty big in the hood.
Yeah. Okay.
You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
That'd be something like 12, 1500 for like a one bedroom apartment in the hood right now.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's there too. So yeah. Now, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Woo,
Uh-oh, it's getting you that
yeah,
infusion. It's all
yeah.
infused in there. It's
It's
fizzing
all
right up.
infused in that burp. That burp came up. I felt a
It's
milligram
it's
right
fizzing
there.
at you.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, Quincy Jones III recalls Lloyd at the time was in his mid 20s, and he would hang out with teenage gang members who would send him on crazy ass missions. He wouldn't elaborate into that. I tried to look for like what he would tell him, but I'm gathering that it was like I said, he came from this role from Boys in the Hood and was like, yo, I'm that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And like, yo, let me prove it. Let me ride around in your back seat and shoot some people and shit like that.
Hmm.
So now, moving on, Lloyd did in 1996. Lloyd made a cameo in the film that ironically parodied hood movies. The title was "Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Gin and Juice in the Hood." You know what I'm saying? You remember
That's the
that?
movie I probably remember the most. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with Marlon and Sean Wayans. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Hmm. It's funny how like that movie parodied even movies that he was in. That was just the irony. of it all.
He's like, I'll take that job though. Let's do it.
For sure, for sure. How much? 1,000? Man, come
Yeah,
on.
I'm
You know what I'm
there.
saying?
I'm
I'm
there.
there.
Yeah,
I'm already here right now. I got
hell yeah.
no wardrobe needed. I got all the hood attire. Let's go.
Yeah.
hmm
He's like, I'm
So
just here as myself.
yeah, no wardrobe. I'm good. No makeup. No, I'm good. Yeah. So at the time, this is like '96. Lloyd had began receiving less and less gigs, and his hot-headed reputation didn't help matters. Yeah. Perhaps as his colleague Chuck D, Chuck D from Public Enemy, he had
Mhm.
been in a role with him, speculated he was merely acting out the frustrations of being famous and broke. You got people looking at you like, why are you still living in the ghetto? You start
Mhm.
getting irritable and like, fuck, fuck it, I'm a real gangster. This is me now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's generally what happens is that people, hold on one second. Turn my fucking
yeah.
fan on. I'm dying out here. Yeah, people get into that lifestyle and they can't differentiate between reality and the role.
Mhm.
And then when they don't and they don't get the results that they want, they go full on gangster. And that's something that, like, it's sad to say, but it's like, if you don't want them to turn out like this, man, I mean, how long can they act like this without being that? You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, we got actors that previously were gang members, that are successful actors now. What's his name? Trejo. What's his name?
Oh, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. Yeah, man. He says it all the time. Like, yo, I left that shit behind and brought
Mhm.
it to my acting. Uh, but never was he ever. He said never was he ever tempted to go back. He's like, nah, that's
Right.
a different life. I don't want that. But here's the point: is that this guy, Lloyd Avery, never really lived that life. So
Mhm.
now he was trying to act it out in real life. That's the only difference. I think that once you change into the Hollywood form, there's no going back if you were ever hood. But if
Mhm.
you were acting like you were hood and you never really were, it could be
Mhm.
bad for you. It'd be just like remember when Justin Bieber was crip walking and shit like that, and people would say shit about it. It'd
He
be
was
like,
pushing it a little too far. A
yeah, he's pushing it a little
little
too
too
far.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like you would think of this as the same way. Like, what if his career wasn't going well, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm really out here, cuz," and you'd be like, Justin, stop,
Yeah, yeah.
stop, just
Yeah, you're not ready for
yeah,
this.
you're
Yeah,
not ready for these streets. These streets
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need you. They don't want you. Get your
Yeah.
ass back into the fucking booth. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So yeah, that's where Lloyd was at the time, and it would go downhill from here.
All right.
Yeah, Lloyd became part of the Jungles, of course. Definitely got jumped in, and
Oh,
it
okay.
began by tattooing Jungles across his left eyebrow. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, he's fully in. Once you get those gangbang tattoos on your face, you are not trying to ever get a job.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's not
Yeah,
happening. Yeah.
you don't ever want to do anything else besides
He-
gangbanging and selling drugs. That's
He's
it.
not going back to McDonald's.
Nah, nah. Yeah, just rip that up. Rip that up. Um, so in March of 1999, on the streets of LA, he was shot at and he fired back during a drive-by on Hillcrest Avenue. Okay,
Okay.
so that's in the it's still like South LA. Past, you know where the Crenshaw Mall is? That's
I'm not. I can't say I'm familiar. I know the Crenshaw area though. Yeah,
yeah.
more or less. Yeah,
Yeah, so King and Crenshaw Boulevard intersect, and then there's a big mall there. They called it the Baldwin Hills Mall. Then they
yeah.
called
Okay.
it, the Crenshaw Mall. It's been going through. But a month later, near there, on April 20th, he got into an altercation with members of the Islamic Center in Santa Barbara Plaza, a shopping center on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in the Jungles. At
On
11:30,
420.
yeah, right. He
That's
was
sad.
not chilling. He was
No, no,
not
no.
chilling.
Mm-mm.
So later on that night, he came back and threw a concrete water meter through the window of this um, of the center, and a shootout ensued. Nobody know who was shooting at who, but there was a shootout
Yeah.
that they say that he was involved in. Now, let's see. Lloyd continued to spiral out of control, but after constant conversations with his family and friends, he decided to clean up his act and started distancing himself from the gang and began the
Mm.
process of getting the tattoo removed from his eyebrow.
Oh, okay. He was trying to get back. Then he's trying to get back to it.
He flipped. He flipped. He was like, "Oh, oh, oh, whoa, whoa,
All right.
whoa! This is
Yeah.
just a roll. This is just a roll." So he flips. He comes back, and he fell back into acting, landing a role in the 2000 film Lockdown, starring
Mm,
Master P, Richard T. Jones, Clifton Powell, and DeAndre Barnes.
mm.
I'm gonna say it. That was a trash film. I don't think I saw it. If I'd have saw that Master P was in it, I probably would have said nope. Mm-mm.
It doesn't sound like something that rings familiar from the 2000s. I think I'd remember some
Yeah,
solid hits. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Nah, this one wasn't it, Chief. This one was not it. So yeah, as you can tell, I mean, as you can see from that movie right there, he probably went to another flopper, which he did. But he played a character named Lloyd. I'm sorry, named Nate. Not Nasty Nate, but Nate.
Nasty Nate.
Okay.
I remember that
And
shit.
yeah, Lloyd was not happy with his character's his role as a drug addicted snitch. And
All
he would
right.
go on tirades throughout the halls of the filming, you know, and while off camera, he would scream and disrupt other people's scenes while on set, you
Wow.
know. Yeah, he was pissed off. He's like, man, I don't want to be this. Man, fuck this and fuck that. You know, walking all up and down the halls, talking crazy to the other actors. You
He's
know, and
lucky
they're
that he had a job. Yeah.
right, exactly. And these are other actors. These are professional people. You know, you get, actors such as Clifton Powell. Clifton Powell, I probably won't be able to tell you any movies that you remember. But oh, Clifton Powell is Pinky.
Okay.
Do you
Pinky in
remember
the Brain.
Pinky from no, not the porn star Pinky, but Pinky from Friday After Next
Oh shit, dude.
with
Yeah,
the
I
Jerry
definitely.
curl?
I've definitely. Oh, okay. Yeah.
With the
Did.
Jerry curl, he was the one talking loud with all the pink on. You know what I'm
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
saying? They make memes out of it, you know, out of
Yeah.
him for every Christmas. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas,
Okay.
nickel. You know that all of that shit. So anyway, he was also not Training Day. He was also in. Well, anyway, it was a good actors, terrible movie. That's what we did in the 2000s just to make roles. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so anyway, the following year in 2001, he would land a role in a film called Shot. It was just as bad. It probably was straight to DVD type of thing. Well, I don't even think DVDs were at that. It was like straight to. It was a made for TV movie type of thing. Yo,
Okay. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he wasn't getting no accolades off of that, even though he was on the cover of the movie. I was like, yo, he didn't star in this, but he was in it and he was on the cover of the movie.
Mm.
So like that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now Lloyd played a character named G Ride, and the director of the film said Lloyd was a great talent and he nailed his audition. But he went on to say that his on-set antics were very disappointing. He smoked weed. He smoked weed.
How dare he?
Weed? How dare he? But
Of all day.
yeah, he smoked it near a child actor's trailer, which
Okay. Well.
no bueno.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
also, I don't know how, but he stole a car. He stole a car off the set. I don't know how. And he also started a fight with a gang that was nearby in the area. So I believe of all of this, I can definitely see him starting a fight with the gangs. Like, you know, I just came off of this gangbang movie. I got gang ties for this gang set, and now you're filming in an area where there's other gang members. I'm gonna bang on them. Okay,
Hmm.
or they might have banged on me, and so I'm not taking it no more, and I'm
He's
fighting with
banging
them.
back.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of letting
Yeah.
security handle it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was a bad deal. You know, and so again, at this time, you know, people were starting to notice, like, yo, man, he's not a person I want to have on my movie set. Like, yeah, he's a great actor. He'll nail the role, which is thug number, 2 through 27.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be great for that. But I don't know if I really want to have him on set and him
He's a
thugging it.
handful.
Right, he'll thug it out. He
Yeah.
wants to reenact that movie from Boys in the Hood. I'm not going there again, G. So
Right, right.
yeah, man, you're hanging out the windows and stuff. Um, yeah, so Lloyd would go on to say that he was having a hard time being recognized. He said that people recognized him from Boys in the Hood, from either Boys in the Hood, and some people would recognize him because they think that he may have killed one of their brothers. So it's like, ain't you that dude?
Wow.
And you
Yeah.
like, which dude?
Yeah, the guy in the movies, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely that guy in the movies. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? And so that's how his life would go. And he's very frustrated. He's getting very frustrated. Okay. Um, but now it was time that his past would catch up to him. In 1999, now we've already moved further up into the stream. We're up at 2001, but there's a story in 1999 that I got to tell you about. In 1999, Lloyd was at a shopping center near the Jungles when he got into an argument with a woman, Annette Lewis. Annette Lewis and him were not previously in a relationship together, but were seen talking together in a parking lot or arguing in a parking lot,
All
um,
right.
where Lloyd produced a firearm and shot Lewis 5 times. He
What the
did,
fuck?
yeah, shot her at close range, point blank range, shot her 5 times. Uh, he then,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
crazy.
he then shot another man, Percy Branch. Lewis would die shortly after, and Branch would die weeks later in the hospital, being only being the an innocent bystander to the verbal dispute. So he would just happen to be walking by, and when the shots rang out, he got hit by two of them. Okay,
Wow.
so he ended up dying too. So now you got two bodies. They're building up on him, and it took a while, but they figured out who was to be responsible for this, and
Hmm.
it took him a while. We're talking about 2.5 years before someone actually came for him. Now,
Wow.
yeah. The night before his arrest, his brother Che recalled Lloyd acting very strange at their house, and he knew that Lloyd was in trouble, but didn't know the specifics. He just knew that detectives had been showing up looking for Lloyd, as
Hmm.
yeah. And so as the two had set that morning in their garage, in their grandmother's garage. Lloyd would go on to say that he had a good life and would act as if he had something to confess to his brother, but Chase stopped him. He was like, "No, I don't want to know anything about what you had going on. You know what I'm saying? Because they bring me to court, I'm not gonna testify against my brother. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying?" Um, so yeah, early the next morning, the cops pounced with helicopters hovering above, and the street had patrol cars all up and down it, parked as if they were about to do a raid. Now, right before this, Che saw his brother in the kitchen, gave him a hug, and I guess he told him goodbye. I'm out of here. Shit's about to go rough. And so he goes out the back door. He ducks out the back door,
Hmm.
and Lloyd, riding down the street, what I'm saying, down Crescent, which is like, off the side of his street, he saw cop cars and brazenly rides up to one of them and looks into the car and lean down, and he says to him, "Hey, what's up?" So the cop looks at him, he looks at the cop, and they kind of like, "Oh, well, I gotta get you." And so when he opened up the door, Lloyd almost falls over, what I'm saying, falls off the bike. He gets up, a scuffle ensues, and he rides off. Somehow he gets
Okay.
away. But of course, they catch his ass because he's on a fucking bicycle, dumbass. So yeah, they actually arrested him and charged him with 2 counts of murder.
Damn.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, at this time, the people that he shot, one died like a week later, and then the other person, the man, he died 2-3 weeks after her. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So that was all in 1999. This is in 2001 when they arrested him.
Hmm.
Yeah. So during the trial, three eyewitnesses who identified him as the shooter all had credibility issues. In addition, there was no murder weapon found, and bullet casings that were recovered at the scene linking him to the murder were destroyed by ballistic examiners. So
Hmm.
they can only test it once. Okay,
I
and
see.
if
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they test it and it says, "Yo, this is it," we can't retest this one shell. Okay, and so they had already went through and tested it trying to match it, but it didn't match.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
I'm still like confused as to how they convicted him of this, which is probably why he appealed it. But they did find him guilty of 2 counts of first degree murder, and he sentenced him to life in prison.
All
Okay,
right.
so yeah, he was sent up the river.
All right.
Now, Lloyd's family and friends were split over the conviction. Some of them believed he was innocent, and some of them, of course, believed he was guilty. I never felt like he did it, said Lloyd's youngest sibling. I wasn't there, I don't know, but my dad felt like Lloyd was not innocent for those charges. So it was like, some people in your family, they gonna say, yeah, he did that shit. And he had a few people that were like, nah, this is my brother. I don't believe it. I just can't
Hmm.
believe it. Now, his father, of course, is like, yo, my young ass son, I basically gave up on him a long time ago. And so when they bringing him into court, I kind of almost convicted him already. And that's sad. That's sad as a motherfucker. Um, yeah, so some people remembered him saying that he would come to the family house and sometimes they would have to kick him out because he was being rowdy or whatnot. And that, on his way out, he'd be like, I kill people and I don't give a fuck. This is the jungles.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what you do to your family. Bang on them, right? Hmm.
So he was just out of control. It sounds like he had a lot of emotional issues, basically, and I mean, he didn't start off that way, but something must have happened where, yeah, he just started
Yeah.
having these problems, and then he couldn't control them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that again, if he really grew up in the hood and he was really around the hood, he would have seen that he had an opportunity to get the fuck out. He had an
Yeah,
opportunity to do better for his life, and
because he was already just on the edge anyway. He wasn't really in, like, so he had, yeah, that springboard out. He didn't have to go back that way if he didn't want to, I guess,
true,
like,
true,
but he
and
felt something compelling about it, obviously.
and that's the thing, they'll say it, man. The hood will take you under. The hood will take you under, as they say. It's a fucking song. It's more than a
Yeah,
fucking song. The hood will take you under, my guy.
yeah. I'm
And
not leaving. I'm just
yeah,
stepping. I can hear you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I myself, being a LA street native, I know myself that I would rather not be knee deep off in the hood. This is my second hit, you
You're
guys.
down in those, man.
Yeah. Mm, it's only 10 milligrams. I gotta go hard.
I gotta drink the 12 pack.
Yeah, for real. Um, but So yeah, Lloyd was sent to Pelican Bay State Prison. You'd never want to
Okay.
go there, not
Doesn't
unless you
sound
got
good. Yeah.
not unless you got like Teflon skin and your asshole shown shut. Um, yeah, which is one of the most dangerous prisons in America. Yeah, his brother Jay said he wanted to go to Pelican Bay because he wanted to say that he went to Pelican Bay and he beat his case and got back to the streets as a convicted murderer, writing raps like Snoop Dogg.
I see. Okay.
As in, like, yo, I'm going to Pelican Bay? Hell yeah. And when I get
Yeah.
off of my case, man, I'm gonna be the hardest rapper out there. Man, 50
Right.
Cent ain't got nothing on me. Snoop Dogg ain't got nothing on me. Man, fuck Tupac. That dude dead anyway.
he just looked at it as kind of like a learning experience, like something he was gonna go through to craft his art.
Yeah, as in like, this is part of my resume. I'm building the bigger and better thug.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm
right.
gonna have street credibility because, you all know me from that movie and you all know me from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me from
Yeah.
Beverly Hills High School. You don't know me from there. You don't know me from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't
Erase
know
that.
me. You don't know me from McDonald's and shit. So
No, yeah. He's
yeah,
not Calvin.
yeah, no, not Mr. Brodus. Yeah, so it wouldn't be that simple, of course. Lloyd was granted a trial, but was again found guilty in July of 2005. So yeah, it didn't go all too well for him. And
Hmm.
while between trials in jail, something changed in Lloyd. He befriended Chaplain Dennis Clark of the Los Angeles County Jail, and before long became a born again Christian. He stopped cursing and fighting, and people on the and people on the outside noticed. We had a close friend, and when we had a close friend we went to elementary school with who had committed suicide. Says Lloyd's longtime friend Dorian Reed.
Hmm.
Lloyd heard about it and called me from prison to make sure I was doing all right. You know what I'm saying? That's a good friend. Like, yo, man, I heard
Yeah.
about this, and I'm checking in. Normally, like you gang bang the fuck out, it was like nothing to you.
Right, right.
So he's starting to see a change in him and hoping that he does something different. Now, when Lloyd returned, this is while he was on the trial. So when you're in Pelican Bay, you're in prison. You've been convicted.
You're
And you're
done.
there.
Yeah, you're
You're
in
done.
there. Yeah.
So when you go to a retrial, that's when your case is then taken back to court. When you're taken back to court, they usually transfer you to the county jail, where in
Hmm.
which you will be transferred back and forth to court. There's a scene in Blood In, Blood Out. I don't know if you remember that, but
No, I don't.
they killed somebody when he was on his transfer back and forth between
Oh,
prisons.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's how they get you. So now, when Lloyd returned to Pelican Bay after his retrial, he was still in high spirits. He had lost. Okay, he had lost his retrial. So basically, this is his this is his first appeal. So
Yeah.
I think he had like two more appeals. Okay, you still like, let's say you get convicted, you get two appeals. I want to say,
Okay.
okay, before you're stuck. I don't know if it's three. I might be, correct me if I'm wrong on that, somebody, but you definitely get two appeals. I know that for sure. So his first appeal goes, boom, okay. Now he got to go back to his life sentence at Pelican Bay.
Hmm.
Now, back at Pelican Bay, his retrial, after his retrial, he led prayer services with other inmates and tried spreading his good gospel to his cellmate Kevin Roby. This was
Okay.
a problem because Kevin Roby was a Satan worshiper. Yeah,
All right.
who was in his 17th year of a 3 life sentence for murder.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So you're in a cell, singing, Jesus come save us to
Yeah,
a pentagram drawing Satanist,
yeah. Yeah.
in the same cell with you that's been there for 17 years.
Yeah, I imagine self-proclaimed Satanists, like, that's just like, because
Man.
who knows what that really means exactly. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sure that's, it's like there's no like super I mean,
Well,
there's the Church of Satan or whatever, but that seems to be like some kind of philosophical group, and it's not really like like what you traditionally think of, like that satanic panic shit from the 80s,
right.
where it's like Satan worshippers like doing rituals, like killing animals and all that kind of shit.
Let
So
me
it's like it's crazy.
hold
It's
on.
crazy.
Let me just read a quick quote from a picture that of this guy. He says, I am satanic Christ, the
Alrighty.
prophesized killer of God, and the rightful, excuse me, rightful ruler of this universe. All hail satanic Christ.
I mean, all right. He's got his own campaign. Like, oh, is that Doctor Evil? He's got a
Yeah.
Doctor Evil kind of look to him, dude.
That's him
Yeah.
right there. And that's his
Wow.
signed signature, guys. of
And
him
he's in
saying,
jail right now.
yeah, oh yeah, he's serving 3 life sentences, will never get out.
Okay,
And
that's so
so,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, man.
I mean,
So,
why not do that if you're in jail though? You're like, ah, whatever. Some people might believe me. Even if you don't
yeah,
buy that shit yourself, or if you do, like, you're
I,
just like, whatever.
and people know, man, shit, I served some time in prison, and, from what I'm getting from this story, from what I'm seeing in this person right here, and my own experiences, I do know that people in prison will roll with a role playing thing just to keep people away from them.
I
Okay.
see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just quick story. I do know of a guy that's life sentence, probably never getting out. He'll probably never come get me
Yeah.
for saying this, but his name was Purple Passion. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, sounds gay as fuck, doesn't it? Yes, he was gay as fuck. But he was known for knocking guys out, knocking them out, and raping them.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah, big dude, very big dude.
Yeah.
I'm 6'6". This dude
Yeah.
was like 6'6" and some change. Big
Yeah.
buff dude, used to walk the yard. Yeah, I wish you would. I will knock you out
Yeah.
and
And rape you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
rape you.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that's an
everybody,
extra threat. It's like it's already bad
yeah,
enough to be raped out, or I mean, to be knocked out, but then to be raped on top of it, it's like what yeah, it's
yeah,
like an extra precautionary measure. You're like,
yeah.
I
And
don't
and
want that. Thank you.
and they would say they had rumors. I hear rumors, and he wouldn't correct you on this. This is what was so funny was he wouldn't correct you on this shit. But people
Yeah.
had rumors saying that he would knock them out, suck their dick, and then leave a Snickers bar on their fucking chest. When we woke up, you got a fresh Snickers, but you got knocked out and your dick sucked.
Well, I mean, that's very kind of him, I guess. Like, it's like, cause it's like, it's one thing to be, like raped like that, I guess, but like,
Mhm.
it's like, at least that like if that's
Yeah,
gonna happen anyway, you might as well get a bonus
a
Snickers.
favor for a favor.
Yeah, it's like, would you, without the Snickers, would you have known it didn't happen, and then you'd be
Yeah,
like saved from that psychological scarring?
yeah.
It's like probably not. So it's like
Probably
benefit,
not. Yeah, if your
take the
pants are
Snickers.
down around your
Yeah.
ankles, and you got a fucking Snickers on your chest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take the Snickers,
Take the
build it back.
Snickers.
Yeah.
Shut
Build
up.
it.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah. I mean, say whatever. I mean, it's up to you
Yeah.
now, but it's like it's what's happens. So you might as well, try to get whatever solace you can out of that Snickers and
Oh
continue on with.
yeah. Continue on with it. So
Yeah.
now that was Purple Passion, and the reason why I've said that is because there are people that are in prison that have stories, backstories, or whatever,
Mhm.
and some of them it's like, yo, if you were a pedophile or something like that, you never want that backstory to come out. They're gonna kill you in prison.
Right.
But
Okay.
there's backstories that like, yo, man, I'm not fucking with that dude. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I personally killed a few people, and I'm not fucking with that guy.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I slit a few people's throats, maybe shot their ass up, deal all kind of gang banging. But that dude right there,
Not messing
Satanist,
with it.
no, I don't
Yeah.
even wanna, I don't even wanna fuck with him, man. CO, get me out of here. And that's what people will be like, yo, man, he's in a cell with a Satanist. He's,
Yeah.
professing Christ and all of that, and you're in a cell with a dude drawing pentagrams. How did this happen?
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems almost like he's like kind of adversarial wherever he ends up. So it's weird that it's probably like in a way it's like being that way in jail is like contrary to how everybody else is, kind of like how he was all like tough
Yeah.
like when he was outside.
Yeah.
So it's like that reversal almost makes sense with his personality. He just liked to be contrarian.
Yeah. And I think that this is something that he even saw. He was like, "Yo, this is me being delivered to deliver this man right here."
Yeah.
Like I've found my way to Christ, and this dude is Satan. Satan worshiper. Like, yo, I'm gonna bring him. This is my next testimony.
Hmm.
So let's see here. La 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 la. Lloyd was in. Okay, okay. All right. When he returned back to Pelican Bay, he led prayer services with other inmates. Okay. Lloyd sent a letter to Chaplain Dennis Clark, the one who basically converted him. And
Okay.
he said to him that he knows that God has him around his new cellmate, Roby. I don't know if it's Roby or Robbie, for a reason, and that he prays that God delivers Roby, into his hands, basically. Like,
Hmm.
yo, give me the way, I'm gonna show him the way. Boom. Now here's where it gets wild.
Alrighty.
On Sunday, wait, hold on. I gotta light this joint, my guy. Small smoke break, because this shit's about to get really ugly. Um, this is the white slushy, you guys.
Oh, there it is, the
The white
cannon. Hell
slushy.
yeah.
Pop
Awesome.
that top. Hold
Who's
on,
the
man.
who's the farm that's coming from? Like,
This is LA Traffic. LA
oh, that's
Traffic,
okay. All right.
yeah. LA Traffic's got this one. And of course the Cannon Company. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
boop. Got my
It's got
little
the
S.
it got the Kimber sugar on it. Is that
Hmm.
what it is?
Yeah, this has actually it has slushy sugar. So
Oh,
white
so it's slushy
slushy,
all the way. Oh, okay.
slushy on slushy.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, and no saliva, as they say.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So pop the top on this real quick. Give this a quick pull because we're about to finish this story up. But this is a wild ass story, my guy. This is a wild ass story. How you doing, man? You all right?
I'm all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm winding down time wise, I
Okay.
guess, but
All right.
I feel like we're coming to a head, no
Yeah.
doubt. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. This is almost it. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. So
yeah. No, I'm coming. That's why I was like, I might as well get up a little bit with you here. I don't
yeah.
want to, but I do have to leave, so I gotta be
Hmm.
responsible.
Yeah. We're gonna run this up. Let's go. So on September 4th of 2005, after attending church services, Lloyd was on the top bunk talking the gospel to his cellie Ruby, which was of course Satan worshiper.
Okay.
While he's on the floor, worshiping his pentagram and stuff like that, he's up on his top bunk, trying to get closer to God. Um, yeah,
I really do wonder what the scene was in that jail cell. Like, in all honesty, like what does Satan worship look like? Because you can
yeah,
imagine what prayer looks like, or reading the Bible or whatever. But I just
yeah.
wonder what this guy's like rituals were, that he was like, I'm a hardcore Satan boy.
Like is he like drawing the pentagram and then pissing on it? Is he putting blood on it? Like where's the
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
coming from? Is he
Because that seems like a health hazard, really. Like
yeah
you would think the jail would stop him, even though it's like, hey, you have your right to worship as you see fit. But
yes, but you
it's
can't
a
do this and you
it's a
can't do that.
biohazard. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think that they got blood for him. But anyway, um, he and Lloyd, of course, got into a fight and a physical altercation and began throwing punches at each other.
Mm.
Everything in the cell was, flipped over, fucked up. And the brutal fight ended with Lloyd, succumbing to a chokehold placed on him by his cellie Roby.
Okay.
We trading blows and everything like that, and then this guy
Choked him
ended
out.
up choking him out. Put him in a
Yeah.
sleeper, and he's dead. Anyway, that night, correction officers counted all the inmates. So when you come by a prison cell, if you've ever seen a prison cell, it's about this wide the window.
Okay.
Okay, about just enough for you to see somebody's face in there. So you stick your
Okay.
face in, you can see, all, you can see 360 damn near, you know what I mean? Except for, right on the door. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
about 3-4 times a day, they do what's called a count. So this count is, basically everybody's in their cell and we just want to count you. Now, some
Yeah.
people could be
Attendance.
asleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
attendance.
Yeah.
Some people could be asleep. Some people could be awake. But on 2 of those counts, twice a day, you have to be standing up. That means
Oh.
that you and your cellie need to be on foot standing up. Okay? That's a
Yeah.
standing count. You got 2 of those. Okay?
Okay.
The rest of them throughout the day, I think it's like 4 or 5 counts or something like that. You're going to get by on that. So anyway, despite 11 counts, including many standing counts. Okay, let's see here. The night, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. And the next day, um, somewhere in the cells, Avery and Rovey conducted a grisly courtship in which he wrote a flirtatious letter to one of Lloyd's female friends. So after Lloyd is dead, he starts penning a letter to one of his friends, like basically
Okay.
writing a letter to a girl that's on the outside and
Okay.
sending it as if he's Lloyd.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, it was postmarked for September 5th. Okay, this is the day after. Lloyd was dead on the 4th. Okay,
Okay, yeah,
so on the 5th, he didn't already went through counts and all of that, and started writing letters.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, man. And now let's see here. Yeah, he postmarked it on the 5th. Correction officers again counted all inmates again, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Okay, so they're counting again. Two counts a day, especially at this prison. Two counts a
Standing
day
count.
need to be standing counts. Okay,
Yeah.
despite 11 inmate counts, many of them standing, the body was not discovered until Robbie laid the corpse on the pentagram on September 6th. Okay, so 4th, 5th, and 6th, almost 3 days now. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and he performed a satanic ritual at about 11:55 a.m. So middle of the morning, just
Okay, yeah.
cut him open.
Almost noon, high
Yeah,
noon, yeah.
yeah, got to do it. Got to get mines in for the days up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lloyd's body was brought to the infirmary. Once they found it, they brought it to the infirmary, where they administered CPR for about 10 minutes. His body was already badly decomposed, and according to the coroner, Lloyd's fractured sternum was probably the cause caused by the CPR. Lloyd's eyelids were swollen shut and his nose was fractured, and there was about a 1.5 inch gash above his right temple. Okay,
Okay.
so like someone hit him over the head or he hit his head up against something. And the
Yeah.
cause of death was that cause of death was aspiration of blood, probable strangulation, and depressed skull fracture were listed as others. So it wasn't they still were inconclusive. They don't know.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's probably all of them.
yeah,
Like
all of them.
all of it
Uh,
contributed. Yeah.
every single one of them. And so he
Yeah.
was pronounced dead at 12:10 p.m. You know.
Okay.
Now the Avery family was notified later that night, and his brother Che flew out to Pelican Bay for answers. He just couldn't take it over the phone. He flew out there and was allowed to view the body, but became suspicious at the funeral home. He
Okay.
said that he was overpowered by the smell and that it took the breath out of him. He said that he smelled old death. Okay.
Yeah.
He said, it just couldn't happen overnight. This just couldn't happen. And so he
Yeah.
confronted the mortuary people and they told him that he had to be dead for at least 2 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Avery family then paid for a private autopsy, which listed a slightly different cause of death. The prison autopsy was blunt force. I'm sorry. It was different from the prison autopsy, which
Yeah.
they now are saying that it's blunt force trauma to the head, complicated by aspirations of the blood, which is choking out,
Yeah.
and said that the injury to the skull was suggestive of either a blow due to a flat surface such as a carpenter's hammer or an impact similar to those type of surfaces. So I'm imagining he hit him up against the side of the bunk and
Yeah.
knocked his head out. He's over with. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so two investigations were already underway at this point in time. The district attorney's office handled the criminal aspect of of it, and the inspector general's Bureau of Independent Review probed the administrative conduct. So 8 months later, the bureau determined that the prison's handling of the security issues and the crime scene were inadequate. It's like, yo, how did you guys, treat this? How did you guys do this? Chain of command as far as evidence and stuff like that. Who did you talk to? Interviews before and after. All of that shit is like you guys got to do it like a regular crime scene. But a lot of these COs, they ain't real cops like that. They don't fuck with that shit. Trust me, they don't care.
Dude, I mean, it sounds like they probably just didn't really do those checks. Like, and
No, no.
they just wrote down that they did. I mean,
Mhm.
like, or whatever documentation they have to do to like say that they did those checks in the time that they did or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they just didn't check on them
Kept
for
going.
multiple days. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Trust me, they like man, they don't want to really deal with it. That's why I believe like when the cells are shut, they're like, yo, I'll leave that for the next shift. Even if
Yeah.
I saw blood in there, I'll leave that for the next shift.
Yeah, I don't want to do the paperwork. I'm
Yeah,
good. Like,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
that's
good. I'm
fine.
out of here. You know
If
what I'm
that guy's
saying?
dead, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on me.
Man, that's on Bob's shift. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
He's got to
I'm out of
fiddle it
here.
out. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Roby confessed to Lloyd's murder and was sentenced to solitary confinement. And the district attorney never really filed charges against Roby. He said that
Mm.
if he did, he's already serving 3 life terms. He's never getting out. And if I charge him, it would put him on death row, which would allow him to live a way better, cushier life. People on death
Oh, I
row,
see. Okay.
they treat them a little bit better. They're single cell. They get better food and stuff like that because
I
it's
see.
not a regular population prison. They don't even go around regular other prisoners. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because of I'm on life. I'm about to die, so I'm gonna kill anybody near me. So
Right, right,
they're
right.
already segregated. You know what I mean? Which
Right,
is
that makes
something,
sense. Yeah. Well, if you have nothing to lose, they have to be a little bit more protective of you, I guess. Like, or
right?
of you from others. Like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
like man, I'll kill somebody. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah.
anyway, the Avery family still have questions that they wanted to know if correction officers, had any role to play in Lloyd's murder. It is still
Mm.
unknown, however, how Lloyd, a born again Christian, was in a cell with a Satanist. Like, how do you do that? Like who approved this move? Okay,
Right, right, right.
this dude is a Satanist. He would tell the cops like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill anybody you put up in here. Why you put this guy up in there?"
Yeah,
Okay,
right. Well,
that's
I mean, yeah, that's, I guess if you're threatening literally every person that they could potentially put in there, you know what
true.
I mean?
True. Yeah,
Uh,
you could be doing it just for a single cell.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you handle that. It sounds like he should have been in solitary confinement then,
Yes,
like,
but excuse me. Here's the thing: is that a lot
yeah,
of times they don't even care. They don't care. Okay,
right.
and so like me putting somebody in there like Lloyd, I'd be putting them in there because I don't like Lloyd. You
Yeah.
dig what I'm saying? Oh, you think you a top, celebrity and shit like that? I run this motherfucking prison. You know what I
That
mean?
might be true. Yeah, you have
And
some vindictive guard. Yeah.
yeah, and I sent you in there. Yeah, and
Right.
there's been rumors, which I was doing some other research. I can't put this out there and saying that it's real, but there were people that were outside of the cell that heard them putting Avery in the cell, saying, "Good luck in there."
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, good luck in there. We about to see this boy in the
Yeah,
hood.
maybe he just was like notoriously had like notoriously stinky shits though,
True.
like, and so he could have just been like, they're like, good luck in there, dude. Like,
Hmm.
that guy fucking smells. His ass fucking reeks. Like, he
I,
clogs his toilet all the time, dude. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I
Because like I
mean,
said,
you never
I've
know.
been put in a cell. I've
Yeah,
had to fight cellies where I'd be like, yo, you got to get out of here. You
you
can't be in
stinking.
here. Yeah, you can't be in here. You know what I'm saying?
You can't
Yeah.
shit in here. You're not allowed
Cheers.
to shit in here.
We got
Yeah.
somebody in the chat right here, man. Yogi Bear, I see you. Yeah, man. So
Yogi.
Yogi, the Avery,
Hey, boo boo.
yeah, they still had questions about that, and this was a recipe for disaster. Prisoners' rights attorney Charles Claiborne or Carborn, the department said that the department is well equipped and should be sophisticated enough that two obviously incompatible people do not live with one another. We got plenty of cells up in here. Okay, there's
Yeah.
plenty of room for him to be alone or him to be with somebody else. Why you didn't make that choice, we don't know. Okay,
Right.
and so because of the criminal investigation is still open, the Averys don't know who approved the pairing and why. So that's a way that they can tie this up. This is 15 years ago, and they still don't know what the fuck happened.
They
Okay,
probably will never know. Yeah,
never
that's my
know.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you're in
because
prison,
I
you
mean, the
never know.
prison, like, because eventually they're just gonna be like, oh, it's been a long time, like, oh, who
Yeah,
knows?
never know. Even the cop that was
Yeah,
working there probably don't work there no more.
yeah,
So, but to protect the prison as itself, like as in we don't want it to be our fault, the prison's fault. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it goes at. It's like chain of command and blame and all of that. It starts making
yeah.
the whole prison look bad, and they don't want that. Okay.
Right, right.
So Lloyd's brother, of course, found the script that he was writing where he was living in the jungles and then again while he was in prison he skimmed through it and it's kind of autobiographical.
Oh man, that one gets stuck in my throat too, dude.
Jesus,
Like, yeah,
fuck.
yeah, yeah.
He says that the lead character is named la deuce and that this badass motherfucker got into trouble and that's what the movie script is about, his experiences going to jail and going through his trial. In
Mm,
one scene, he wrote he was talking shit to the police and they said they were going to fix him. And
yeah,
they
yeah.
sent an inmate with a knife to kill Lloyd, but Lloyd ended up killing him. Then
Right.
it shows Lloyd covered his body with a sheet and had him in there for 2 days. I bullshit you not.
Damn, dude.
He said, "I think this script is called Junglez." But look, man, this is a wild ass story, and he had wrote this like while he was on trial and all of that. He wrote this while he was going back and forth and all of that. And so it's
Yeah.
like, yo, how coincidental is it that he ended up killed in his cell
And being there for 2 days or
and
so,
being there
like,
for 2 days covered with a
yeah,
sheet? Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's some hardcore shit, my guy.
yeah. Just a weird coincidence, I guess. Yeah, that he was able to foretell it.
Yeah. Now I've seen it, and I'm not gonna put it up just because it was really too gory. But I've seen pictures of the scene, which some cops
Really.
took pictures of it, and it's gross and disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, because he basically chopped his body up pretty much, cut him open,
Uh,
pulled out his organs, like played. He played with his blood.
and then he
Redid.
then and then they took him to like be declared dead afterwards.
Yeah, like why
Like
are you
that
still
wasn't just
doing
kind of like
CPR for 10 minutes, yo?
yeah, that wasn't like an instant determination after that. Like that seems pretty seems pretty on the
Yeah,
spot, I guess. I don't know, man. I like, I heard about World War II and like some of those guys getting blown half up and then they still
right.
survived. And I'm just like, I don't know how they did that, but
How did you do that? And then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
drawing blood. You're drawing pentagrams. You refreshed your pentagram with my fresh blood now. So
Dude.
yeah,
Yes,
man.
I think he wasn't. Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna make it though.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But yeah, what a that is really strange. Like I
It's
mean, I
yeah.
wonder if like it's in my mind, it's the conspiratorial part of my mind. Like it's like, oh, I wonder if like like for some reason like. Well, no, I mean, what would
Mm.
he benefit from it? Maybe his family or something. Because I'm like, maybe he told this guy that and like made a deal with him to like kill him, like
Kill him.
martyr him.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Martyr
like,
me.
and then like it would be in his script, and then be like, no, like it was such an amazing thing, and like the fact
Yeah.
that he called it that, it would like elevate him to some kind of status. But I mean, like, like after his
This
death, like what would he gain from that? So that's crazy. Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like maybe I mean I could see him saying like, well, you know what, my life is over. I'm not gonna be on the streets anymore. So go ahead, get me out of here. But
It's
even then, I'm like, nah. This is
yeah,
a wild ass story, and I I again attribute this to someone who wasn't hood. Okay,
hmm,
they immersed themselves into the hood, and they thought the hood took them under.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, like like I said, he even though he made his transition to try and change himself right before he was arrested, he still went down that wrong path where he was starting to think that he was really that guy in that back
yeah,
seat. And I don't want to give out no advice, but yeah, it's way better outside of the hood, man. So like, yes, I want to, make sure that people, that are living in the hood are okay and everything like that. But there's a different way. There's a different way of life and of living, and you don't have to act hard. Don't. If you
yeah.
don't have to, don't. Please don't.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, yeah. Like why? Yeah, why subject yourself? Like, that's like putting yourself into a war mentality when you don't need to. It's
Right.
like those people are scarred from the things that they've had to go through. And it's like
Yeah.
so it's not like a cool thing that's happened to them. And
No.
like so it's like you wouldn't want to like put yourself in that position, but at the
Yeah.
same time you may if you're self-destructive. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah.
Like
Well,
if you didn't know what you were getting into, that's one thing, but it's like also but there's the other side. It's like maybe they are somewhat self-destructive and that's a path to
yeah.
that destruction. So
Again, I think that you're right. Path to self destruction. I think that he started on it once he started to doubt himself and his talent. I think
mm,
that once he was typecast and everything like that, it's somebody like here's a big thing that I was just looking into. I know you got to go, but I'm gonna end it with this story. You know who Jaleel White is?
it's this Urkel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
that's all you know him for, right?
Right, of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else he's done. Yeah, he's Urkel. Yeah.
Mhm. I probably can count maybe two roles that I've seen him in,
Yeah.
after that, but it was something that he was trying to do to get away from that role, and he never really made that happen. And that's
Right.
something that it's sad, but he didn't go this route where he's like, you know what, I'm all hood now. Do you get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He wasn't like I have to destroy like Urkel like to become all.
mhm.
So I have to go so hard the other direction, you know.
Right,
Like
right. Well, I mean, again, he wasn't gonna try and like live the role that he only knew. I mean, I guess that would send him to something like Caltech or something like
yeah, yeah. I was like, if he did that, like, yeah, if he really
that.
embraced the Urkel, like, you know, then
Yeah,
maybe he would be like, maybe he would have cured cancer. I don't know, you know.
true.
Like,
You
that
know,
seems like a much more positive. I mean, not necessarily that he's gone in any kind of negative direction, but it
no,
seems like
but
that wouldn't
yeah.
be a negative whatsoever if he Urkeled out, you know. Like,
Yeah, man. If you
but
lose, you lose, man. But
yeah.
like, don't go down that wrong path thinking that it's gonna bring you back up, man.
I
You
guess there's
know.
something to be said for typecasting though, and then you know, having a feeling about how the world sees you, you know,
Hmm.
and that's that maybe he just yeah really had a hard time with that, and he couldn't really
Yeah,
wrestle with that concept. You
yeah.
know, too many people saw him in that same exact way,
Well,
and
like
it
you
started to
said,
get to him.
three roles in a row, 4 roles in a row. He played hoodlum number 3, 4. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
knucklehead number two.
yeah,
Yeah.
knucklehead number 2 or 3, man. Like I said, I feel for him. You know, I feel for the people that are getting caught up like that. But man, still chase your dreams, man. Don't let nothing fucking sidetrack you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also, yeah, just like you know, I mean, it's these next years are going to be really difficult. I feel like, and especially so, it's like you
Yeah.
know, remember like the things that you do, like you know, that you there's like you know negative things that you may do may stay with you. You know,
Right.
until you take like until you do an action, like let's say, and like and you live through it, and like
Hmm.
you don't know what consequences it may have on you. So it's like people doing bad things, they don't know how that racks up on them. You know, and they'll be
Yeah.
thinking about it later on, and you can't live comfortably probably. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like it's always better to go that way. You know, keep that like kind of golden rule intact. You know,
We talking
and
3 years later when they caught up to him off of these this double homicide. So
dude, that's just when the police catch up to you. But it's like your own. You may never get caught, but your feelings will always get you. You know, I mean, people. It's like something will come back to you. You know,
yeah,
and that's because people change. You know, it's like how you felt about something in your 20s, how you felt about something in some moment can change. Like you know, just a few minutes later. So if you take
true.
action in the heat of the moment, it's like you can
Yeah.
change your life. You know, irreparably for the
Hmm.
after that. You know, so it's like
Fucked your shit off.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always good to just err on the side of goodness if you can, you know.
That's what's up. Words of
Yeah.
wisdom from Westcoast Weed Reviews. Damn it.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Cheers to
straight out of
that.
the guava gas. Oh, you can't
Yeah.
see it because of the green screen. Let me
Oh,
try.
agree. There you go. There you go.
Trying.
Yeah. The
Oh, it just
terps.
disappears. Yeah, yeah, it's trying, but it's good stuff. But all right,
Yeah.
man. Well, it's been a pleasure. Yeah,
That's what's
sorry to dip
up.
off,
It's all
but
good. We
what
are
a weird
great.
story.
Damn it, man. That's what we do here on Collection R. We do these random stories every Tuesday. We'll be back with Bearded Pharaoh Reviews 420 on next Tuesday. We're doing some more of that Mormon stuff. So tune in for that. Also, yeah, check us out on YouTube for a restream of this, the 420 E-sesh. Check out some more channel content with our peoples over there. We got West Coast Weed Reviews. We got Terp Queen. It's all scrolling up there at the top. We got Canosaurus Rex and everything like that. We doing everything here. And me, damn it, man. So
Yep.
yeah, man, thank you very much for coming through, Wes. And yeah, man, I hope to see you soon with a new joint bust down or something.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun. Yeah, I gotta go pick up some joints right now, so I'm out.
That's right. Let's go, yo.
All
All
right,
right.
dude.